So, did you watch the press conference?
Of course I watched the press conference.
And?
And what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know, the part that we've talked about.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think I probably know the part you're talking about, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring it up.
Why not? Why don't you want to bring it up? It was I brought it up, and it was then they brought it up,
right?
And I think we should just talk about it.
We should talk about it.
Yes,
we should talk about it. Okay,
yes,
what should we talk about exactly? What part is it that you want me to talk about?
I want you to talk about the part where what Vitello said is what I said.
Right. The part where Vitello said that he would like to travel to meet some of the guys. Like go into their living rooms.
Exactly. Yes, that.
But obviously couldn't do that for the whole roster. That's the part you want me to talk about.
Yes, I want you to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, man. Like we talk about your stuff all the time. I just want you to say one thing.
We talk about my stuff all of the time just because I ramble. It's not like we plan it that way. It just accidentally happens that way. And I know what you want. Like I know what you want, and I'm not going to do it. I don't like. This is ridiculous. But for like,
ridiculous.
You know how old you are, man. Like you are too old for this stuff. For getting your little brother to no. I'm not going to do it. Like I'm not going to like, this is ridiculous, dude. We're supposed to be this is supposed to be a fun interaction for us. And like all you're doing is just pushing my buttons right now.
Yes, I'm pushing your buttons. Just say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Fine. I'm going to tell Mom.
Oh, come on. Dude, I don't care. I don't care if you tell her. It's fine. Whatever. I don't care. All right, fine. Fine. You were right and I was wrong. Happy? Was that? Yeah? Don't have a stroke, dude.
That's exactly what I want. Thank you.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the baseball is mid, but the cocktails are elite. Here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, episode 337. Ben, both Madison Bumgarner and Ryan Vogelsong had 3.37 ERAs in 2012 while helping the Giants win their second World Series championship in 3 years.
For the whole season?
Yeah, isn't that kind of weird? Both of them.
That is very weird. God, that Ryan Vogelsong's such a good story, man. I just
out of the blue, man, out of a foreign league. He was.
Yeah, but also the fact that he was like a Giants prospect, and then he was like, I remember him playing catch. I think it was like with Joe Nathan. I don't know. Like, this is what my memories are. When he was like a hot prospect, and then he got traded, and then just went on this, journey. Yeah, and then he comes back home, and he just is a World Series hero. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mad Bum was pretty good too.
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah, he's all right. It's fine. He's fine. But apparently, they were equally good in 2012.
Well. So Vogelsong, don't forget, was traded with Armando Rios. Remember him?
I do remember, yes.
For Jason Schmidt and John Vanderwall.
Ooh, that was a good trade.
It was a good trade.
That was a good trade, wasn't it? I mean, I liked Armando, and Vogelsong was a prospect, so whatever, right? Like, but that was a good trade.
Especially because Vogelsong took many years to actually come to fruition in his.
Exactly. It worked out really well for the Giants. Let's just put it that way. I do remember, I think Rios, they went after that trade, they literally played the Giants in the series. Like, he either got the trade happened during when the Pirates were in San Francisco, and then I think Rios hurt his knee in like his first or second game as a Pirate in what was then Pac Bell Park. Just horrible story on that side. But this isn't about Armando Rios. This is about Ryan Vogelsong after the return.
Yes. And that was a trade deadline trade, July 30th.
Yeah. Wow.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Let's do it, Bob.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking a cocktail that I'm calling an Orchard Spritz. Folks, it's a mocktail. It is a zero alcohol cocktail, as the kids say nowadays. And the reason that it is a zero alcohol cocktail is because I had the worst hangover this morning. And just the thought of a drink right now just doesn't do it for me. So I made a mocktail version of the Golden Orchard that I presented, I think, last time. And I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
What are you drinking, Ben?
That's very kind of you, Bob. Thank you for asking. I think first we should mock Matthew for drinking a mocktail.
Fine.
Yeah. But also, folks, drink responsibly. One doesn't have to.
I partied at a hotel, had a hotel room there, and utilized that. I did not drive. I was very hammered, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that it has made you feel so bad you can't enjoy a simple beverage with your brother. And that doesn't sound like it was responsible, is what I'm saying.
Also, the bartender at this hotel had such a heavy pour.
Oh, sure, it's everybody else's fault. It's never your fault. I get it. That's fine. What I'm saying is, folks, alcohol, it's basically poison. But we love it. Yeah. So anyway, what am I drinking, Bob? Bob, I'm drinking a cocktail that I am calling the Flying Baby. No, that I am calling the Flying Blueberry. But I like Flying Baby too. So, whatever name you like. What's in the Flying Blueberry / Baby? Yeah, well, you'll find out at the end of the episode.
I'm guessing lots of alcohol, considering you couldn't remember the name.
Yeah.
Anyway, today, folks, is Sunday, November 2nd, as we record this podcast. Before we get into anything else, I do feel like we should talk about our schedule changing this month, because we're going to be going to every other week.
Oh.
Starting now.
Oh, okay. We're going to every other week. I didn't know. But okay, now I know. All right, cool.
We did talk about this a while back, but
okay.
We did not talk about it right before we went on the air. So I'm just letting you and everyone else know that it will be twice every 2 weeks now.
Every 2 weeks,
because frankly, man, there's not a lot to talk about.
No, it's getting pretty light. We will definitely come back if any big major news happens while we're in an interlude.
Absolutely. We'll have an emergency pod if they sign somebody of note.
Yeah, and things usually get hot and heavy in December, so who knows? We'll see what happens in December. December's always a big month for our downloads too. So maybe we'll do something then. But yeah. Yeah, it just gets harder and harder. And listen, folks, we don't want to go through one of those Tingler episodes again, especially since the man might legitimately end up being a Giants coach. It sounds very... It sounds like I've got
which we're going to talk about in a little bit, because we did learn some things from the Tony Vitello press conference. So we will talk a little bit about that. And then, because you just can't just hire a manager and say you're done, we're going to talk about some holes in the roster that need to be filled. And folks, if you really get into the nitty gritty, there's a lot of holes.
Matthew, think it's just there's one large gaping hole. It's just one large hole. I wouldn't say it's a lot of holes. It's one. There's a couple holes, yeah. Then in one particular area, there's just a very large hole. I wouldn't say it's a lot of holes, though.
Okay.
It's just a really big hole. And how big was that hole?
Don't make me edit things out again.
I'm not making you edit. You didn't edit the last time. I don't know what you're talking about. We both know that whatever ridiculous thing I say when you're editing, it's going to make it into the show. Every little mistake you make somehow gets cleaned up. But all the ridiculous things that I say, they stay in.
This is true. This is true. Including when you repeat yourself like 3 times in a row. It's just
I have special software that identifies that and removes it. And you don't, and so that's why I'm more repetitive on the episodes.
I'm just used to hearing it, and so when I hear it in the editing, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Ben. But
yeah, that's my form of a verbal crutch. I don't know what I'm like. I'm forming the thought in my head, and so I don't know what to say next. So I say something like.
Yeah.
And then once I figure out what I'm going to say, then I move on, and that's why I repeat myself so much.
Yeah, I just say Okay. One thing though, I do want to bring
up. I cut those out too.
before we get into our Tony Vitello press conference is Ben. Things are a little golden this week.
They were. This was a good weekend, right? So light on baseball news, and then boom, we find out
one Gold Glove, which we knew. Mm-hmm. We had 2 Gold Gloves. Last time when we talked about Webb getting a Gold Glove nomination, I thought, oh, that's nice. He got nominated.
Really? The stats that you read, they sounded really good to me. I was like, that's good.
Well, they did to me too, but honestly, I don't really understand. I don't understand like how they it's like, isn't it like writers and they don't use are writers nowadays looking at the stats? I feel like there's a lot of like, oh, he looks like a ball player. He looks really good.
Yes. So what is different now is they all use stats, and they really actually look at the defensive stats. The framing thing now is definitely locked in. Like, everybody knows about the framing. Patrick Bailey's got this award on lockdown probably for the next 5 years. Like, he's about to go on a run. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, they all look at the stats. Now, don't get me wrong, they are all still holier than thou. They all still think that they are the sole arbiters of good and valuable human beings. But now they look at the stats.
Okay. Well, Logan Webb's stats were really good this year. And, just reading the article, he was the league leader in net bases prevented, which I didn't know was a stat. But it sounds like a really good one.
Matthew, you just keep throwing out these stats that just make it more and more obvious that he was always he was the sure thing. He's probably going to win the Platinum Glove. He's better than Bailey.
Well, I think the great thing was that he actually really worked on it. Like, he was not a great defender. And this spring, he went in with a goal of getting better defensively. And he ended up with a Gold Glove. Like, that's a pretty cool.
That is cool. He wanted to prevent runners from moving, which is a thing that can be measured, and I think that is something that goes into the Gold Glove, right? Runners getting jumps on him, the leads that they take away from bases, but also, I think the one that still sticks out to me is that he led the league in double plays started. That's just a really important stat, and like, that's a really hard throw, right? We talked about this when we talked about this last time. It's every time you see a pitcher throw towards second base, it's like you just assume the ball's going to go to center field.
Yeah.
And he only made 1 error all season.
Which is pretty impressive since he had 207 innings. He led he led the majors in innings pitched, so he had more opportunities.
Yeah, get the man the Platinum Glove. Screw Bailey.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Bailey, the one stat that stands out is that 19 defensive runs saved, which is nearly twice as many as the next closest catcher. I mean, he just kind of lapped the field.
We're talking about Bailey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I think you're right. I think he's going to go on a run here. I mean, he's the first catcher to win back-to-back since Molina won 8 in a row or whatever back in the day. And so, I think we're going to see that, right? I mean, who else is going to challenge Bailey unless he were to get hurt?
Austin Barnes allegedly is really good at framing, but it's so, like, here's the thing. I saw a YouTube video about this because I know this is controversial. Like, first of all, folks, Bailey is so good at catching that the hitting doesn't matter. Like, and I know that makes some people upset because we really don't like the fact that he can't hit. He can hit as long as the game's on the line, it's the 7th inning or later. So, first of all, you're wrong in that regard. But second, it doesn't matter. Like, the framing is so important and so impactful, and he is so good at it that it cancels out how bad he is at hitting. The man's WAR is positive, even though he's a bad hitter. But here's the thing. There's one other catcher that's almost as good as or maybe slightly better than him, and I think it's Barnes, but I'm not 100% sure. But the point is, that guy really can't hit. So Bailey's got like a 74 weighted runs created plus, I think, which is actually like, it's bad, but it's like tolerable when he's that good at defense. So, yes, Bailey's the king. Long live the king. That's how I feel about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I just exciting to have both a battery, right?
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. And I do think Logan should get the platinum glove because just whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think you should get the platinum glove for tricking other human beings, and that's basically what Patrick does.
Anyway, Ben, maybe we should move on.
Yeah,
Tony Vitello press conference.
I'm going to stick to that opinion now for the rest of forever.
Okay. All right. Well, we're here joking and laughing, and that was kind of the impression I got from the press conference. There was a lot of jokes, a lot of laughter, a lot of some self-deprecating humor from Tony Vitello himself. What was your thoughts on the overall tenor of the press conference? I feel like it was a big old party, and I really enjoyed every minute of it. Actually, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I think there was well, first of all, it was way different than the press conference to introduce Gabe Kapler because, man, that guy came in and there were lots of people were like, we got to talk about this thing that happened in L.A. when you were there to grind. Yeah. The press had an axe to grind with that man. And then I think with Melvin coming in, it was like at that point, it just the whole the reputation of the Kapler clubhouse and of Kapler himself was being very much not a great communicator, and having Melvin come in and just be a little bit more relaxed and folksy was a big change. This was very light and day. This did feel like everybody was super excited, right? Everybody was super excited. Like, because even though Tony Vitello is a controversial hire because he is the first coach to come out of college and go straight into the major league managerial role, that's happening to him because his reputation is so strong. And especially how the fans of the Tennessee Volunteers feel about him, right? How much respect and adoration they have for him. And I think that clearly translated over to the impression that I got from him and obviously to the San Francisco media, because they were the ones who were kind of like reflecting that back to me. So I think people were very excited to meet this guy because this guy came with, even though he doesn't have any professional experience, he has this pedigree, this, and so I think there was a lot of excitement about him. So people were excited. That was my first impression. Everybody was excited about this idea, but everybody also recognizes there's still some question marks here.
Well, and he got asked those questions, and he was prepared for it. I liked his discussion around paying dues, and he came back and he said, I've paid my dues in a different way. Late nights on the road, hotel rooms, hearing no all the time.
Hearing no from 17 and 16-year-olds, by the way. Okay,
yeah, right.
Okay, here you are, you're groveling, you're throwing yourself down in front of a 16 or 17-year-old kid, and he's like, No, I'm sorry, Mr. Vitello. I'm going to go to one of the Carolina. I don't know who's good at baseball, Matthew. I don't pay any attention to college sports. I'm going to go to Arizona State University. Yeah, anyway, so groveling in front of 16 and 17-year-olds and getting told no by them, that's brutal.
Yeah. So I feel like he was ready for the answer. He knew that was going to get asked, and I like that he didn't back down. I like that he kind of said, I paid my dues, and I think that he really. One of the things that he talked about too was that it wasn't always his dream to be a major league manager, but that it had become one recently. And I feel like that was also a really nice way of kind of feeling like he realizes that he had put himself in a position to be successful and to reach the pinnacle of his career, that there was an opportunity there that was presenting itself that wasn't there maybe 5 years ago. And so I liked all of it. Like, I just liked the fact that he was like confident in his abilities and what he was doing, but also humble and at the same time. So I really liked that whole vibe that he was giving off.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think from him, the vibes that I liked was, number one, his sense of humor. He has a very dry sense of humor. He doesn't give away that he's telling a joke. A lot of the times you kind of have to figure it out. And I guess that's sort of what a dry sense of humor is. And, I have I would like to think that I have a sense of humor that's very similar to that. Except most of the time my jokes are cynical, which is kind of like my cue that I'm telling a joke. Because it's insulting to somebody. So I like that. I also like that there was this... he just seems really approachable, right? Like, that's the leadership quality that I think really stuck out to me, was that he's very humble. He is very approachable. Like, he's confident. He believes in his abilities. But one of the things that makes him a good leader is that he is humble. And I think that seemed like what Buster Posey was drawn to by him, right? From him, was that humility and also his work ethic. Right. The guy just grinds. The guy grinds.
Right. And Buster actually addressed that in the conference, saying that it was hard to get a hold of him because he was on the field or, in traveling. And so he knew that he was getting a guy that was a hard worker. And Vitello himself kept referencing hard work. Like, he mentioned that several times throughout the press conference about hard work. That's what made him successful. And it kind of goes back to what Buster Posey was saying when he opened the search, is that he wanted someone that was going to be in the details, right? That he wanted someone that was going to work extra hard. And so I think he found his guy. I think he found a guy that's ready to do the work. And that in itself was really exciting for me, because I feel like that energy just is going to rub off on everyone. Another thing, though, Ben, that came up was that certain guy was going to go visit certain players.
No. No, we're not doing this twice. Okay? We made it the opening. It's over. Okay? Let's just move on from that, okay?
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So no, that was in reference to how he's going to endear himself to the players. And there was some questions about that, right? Like, and I think that's part of what you're talking about, like paying your dues. Like, somebody asked him, like, what are you going to do to earn the respect of your players? And this is a question that's really hard for me, because there's a part of me that understands it and gets it, right? But then there's another part of me that is like, F you, like, this is your manager. Like, if you can't accept that this guy's your manager, then you're the problem. You're the problem. Okay? And maybe the team should move on from you. And like, maybe you shouldn't be in baseball.
Yeah. Right.
Right? Like, so like the idea that anybody has to go, like, he's already gotten hired by Buster Posey, who, by the way, I don't care what player you are, he's better than you. Like, Buster's better than you. And like, because he's gotten jobs that you don't have, but also he's a better baseball player than you. Like, and I don't care who you are, like, on the team right now.
Right.
right? Like, Buster's better than you, and he hired this guy. So get rid of all your ego stuff about what this guy did or did not do. So that sort of stuff ticks me off. And I have no reason to believe that any of the Giants feel that way, first of all.
Right.
This is just writers just throwing that crap out there. So that's why that question really just annoyed me. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, if that's a thing, it's a thing. And I do like that, you know, like he came out and he says, well, like, you know, I want to go talk to them face to face. And I want to go, like, I'm going to put in the work, just like you said. And that's how I'm going to earn their respect, by showing them. And you know, I thought that was a great answer. I thought it was a great answer.
One of the things that came up a few times was his ties to Giants players and events. We learned that he was at Game 7 of the 2014 World Series with Bumgarner coming in on relief, and I thought it was funny. He kind of joked about how, like, it was really tense when Gordon hit the triple, and then Buster goes, "Yeah, tell me about it."
It's like, yeah. And I thought it was interesting too, because he was like, you know, I was behind home plate, and I was like, Buster's probably thinking, no, I was behind home plate.
Yeah.
So, you know, both are true. Like, there were a lot of people behind home plate. There was an umpire there too, you know, and there were, like, you know, like probably 50 people in the stands that could have said that. No, that's very cool that he was there, you know, and saw that firsthand. Yeah.
Well, one of the other things, I hadn't realized this until the press conference, is that Bill Miller played for his dad in high school. And then when he coached the Cardinals, he actually stayed with the Vitellos while he was coaching the Cardinals. And so he's a really close family friend. And so that was kind of fun to hear Bill Miller references and you know, just that tie to the Giants, and someone that we watched when we were growing up.
Folks, well, not someone we watched. Folks,
well, yeah.
Bill Miller was the Andrew Kisner of his day. Meaning that when Matty was taken away from me for Jeff Kent, which was a good trade, and I get it, Bill Miller became my favorite player. Just like when Camilo was traded and Andrew Kisner became my favorite player.
One of them had a better career than the other.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Bill Miller? You don't think that Andrew's going to live up to the Bill Miller status? Look, we don't know what's going to happen yet. Kisner could still become a batting champion and have, like, one of the greatest hits in ALCS history. We don't know. You don't know what's going to happen to Andrew. We do know he's not going to be a Giant, but you don't know anything else other than that. Why you always got to go after my guys?
Oh, just because it's so fun.
And you know what? Fine. Speaking of pissing Ben off. Let's just deal with it now.
Oh.
He didn't say his name. He didn't say his name, but I feel like he didn't say his name because I feel like he probably listened to the show. He listened to the show. He listened to both episodes. The episode where we got his name wrong and the episode where we got his name right. And this man's name came up a lot in both episodes, featured strongly.
Yeah, so he said someone with ties to San Diego who I'm close with.
Yeah. I think Jace might be coming to San Francisco, Matthew. I think if I'm a betting man, I'm betting on Jace Tingler being a Giants coach, and I'm betting on Matt Scherzer being a Giants pitcher.
And why shouldn't either of them? It just makes too much sense.
It's too much sense. Yeah. I stand by my Dave Roberts managing circles around Tingler. I stand by it. Like, I will go back and get the game notes, Matthew. I will show you what Dave Roberts did to him. I will.
All right. One last question before we move on. Baggerly did ask at the end about connecting with Latin American players, because apparently at the University of Tennessee there ain't no Latin American players.
Yeah, Matthew, because they all go pro.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so Vitello mentioned who makes up his staff is key, but he also talked about building trust, and then anything that is an obstacle to building trust is not a good thing, and that they need to meet that challenge head on. So I imagine there will be Spanish-speaking coaches on his staff, and we know that Jace Tingler speaks Spanish, so I think that's just one more way to connect those dots.
Okay. I think Dave Roberts speaks Spanish too, Matthew. So then Dave could just embarrass him in 2 languages. Okay, fine. This is interesting. This question does keep coming up. Baggerly asks it a lot. Baggerly does bring this up a lot, but it is something that seems to be hanging over the heads of the San Francisco Giants. We haven't talked about it much on the show, but it keeps coming up. This issue with Latin American players, and I wonder if it translates out to anyone who doesn't speak English as their native language, right? So, Jung-Hoo Lee being in that group. Yeah. This is a big question mark, and it does seem to be a thing that keeps coming up. Like, there's communication issues. Like, it seemed like there were a lot of communication issues with Camilo during the end of the Kapler era, and maybe even last year with the beginning with Melvin's first year. So not, 2024.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's interesting that it keeps coming up. If it's a real problem, it needs to be solved. It needs to be solved.
Absolutely. And I feel like Vitello is somebody that's going to solve it. Like, I think he understands it.
Well, I think that was my biggest takeaway from him, is that this guy's a hard worker and he is a process builder. And he is a leader who leads by inspiring others. But also makes sure that others do what they're supposed to be doing, right? Like, he inspires and empowers others to do great jobs, and he gets people to solve the problems that are problems, and then he holds them accountable. Now, is that going to translate to calling great X's and O's, or is Dave Roberts going to embarrass him? We will find out, but it's a distinct possibility. Like, that is one area I am concerned about. Dave Roberts, for the last, I don't know how many years he's been a Dodgers manager, but he's been managing 162 games a year to Tony Vitello's 60? Is that what it is? 4 to 60?
Something like that. 60 something. Yeah.
60 a year. That's a lot more games every year to have experience from against other great managers. But I think the only way that we're going to figure that out is by living through it. And let's hope he's a fast learner.
All right. Do you think he could play right field?
No. But I did hear that he asked about a possibility of a backup catcher from one hobo / backup catcher.
Yeah, he did. He did make a little joke about convincing Buster to suit up.
Yeah, it's funny. Whenever anybody says that to Buster, the pained look on his face is so beautiful. This is a man who does not want to strap him on ever again. No desire. He probably keeps himself in shape, but that man never wants to get down into a squat again, even if it's on one knee. Just no.
When Kuiper was on Giants Talk a while back, they asked him about somehow that came up, and he said that someone had asked, like, when was the last time you'd gotten put your equipment on and caught, and it was basically his last game. Like, he has never done it again.
I don't think that's a thing you want to do.
Yeah,
he probably wants to hit. He enjoyed calling games, right? But no, getting down in the squat, catching 105-mile-an-hour fastball, no. I don't think anybody wants to do that.
All right, Ben, well, we got to get into this whole roster hole thing, because what we're going to talk about going forward, I feel like, is a lot of, like, how Buster's going to fill some of these gaps and holes in the roster. The good news is there are a lot of, like, returning for sure locked in positions, but then we do have some holes. or a large hole, as you like to say.
We got a couple holes. One of them is very large. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It's
Well, first of all, the infield is done. We don't need to worry with the infield. You got Patrick Bailey at catcher, Devers at first, Casey Schmidt at second, Willie Adames at short, Matt Chapman at third. And then even a couple outfield spots, right? You got Elliot Ramos and Jung Hoo Lee. You could debate where you put them, but they're there.
Those are those are my corner outfielders.
Okay.
And I stand by it. Those are my corner outfielders. I will fight everybody. Yes, Elliott should be in the outfield. Yes. Folks, he's the same as Patrick Bailey in terms of WAR. If you hate Elliott, you hate Bailey. And I'm sure there are some of you out there going like, yes, that's me. That's me. Otherwise, no. Like, just, okay? Like, they do it different ways. But they offer the same value to the team. Okay? And both of them are better than Jung Hoo Lee. So, okay.
Well, so we do need an outfielder. Consensus is that somebody could be brought in, either through free agency, maybe a trade, but we need a third outfielder. Maybe it's internally. Maybe there's a Luis Matos, like he just has a great spring. Maybe Drew Gilbert just sets the world on fire.
There's a lot of possibilities in the Giants organization already. Yes, there could be some younger guys who come out of nowhere that are like just rocketing up. Yes, even if Randy Wynn will let them. Mister, they got to hit every level. You know, if you let a guy go too far, Matthew, if you let a guy just rocket through the minor leagues, he might just have set one of the greatest pitching performances by a rookie in the World Series, and we can't possibly have that.
No.
Right, Randy?
No, can't possibly have that.
Sorry.
So anyway, we got an outfielder spot. The bench. You could talk about the bench. So we have a backup catcher.
No, what? We have a backup catcher?
So yeah, there's going to be a backup catcher. That's one of our at least 4 bench players, right?
Correct. Sure. We need one. Yeah.
And so not Andrew Kisner.
No, not Andrew Kisner.
What's the name of I should know this name. What's the name of the dude?
I'll tell you what his name isn't. His name isn't Camilo Doval. That's what his name isn't.
Okay.
It's not Camilo Doval. That's not his name.
Oh, it's the guy that we traded Camilo Doval for.
Right. Yeah, that guy. That guy.
So we're just going to call him not Camilo.
Well, that's what I'm going to call him. Not Camilo. Anti-Camilo.
His name is actually Jesus Rodriguez.
Right. But, that guy. Like, hey, I'm not Camilo Doval guy. Yeah. That guy.
Clearly has the front runner for that.
Clearly has a lot to live up to.
He does. He does have a lot to live up to Ben Henry. Yeah.
Yeah, to one guy. To one old man sitting in his closet.
One could argue that the DH spot is also open. Ben, do you think it's open?
One could argue. Who wants to argue with me? You don't want to argue with me.
I don't want to argue with you, but there are people out there who
there's people out there that think that they heard me in a couple of podcasts and they think they can stand the heat. Folks, I am really good at launching insults about how dumb you are, and I don't care how smart you are. I will make you cry.
Ben was a nationally ranked debater in college.
In the American Parliamentary Debate Association, Matthew, thank you very much. Still,
what I really liked about it, though, was that you had this really nice way of putting people down and still sounding like really polite.
That's how debate is insulting people to their face while sounding like you're complimenting them. That's mostly what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, Bryce Eldridge.
Yes.
Let's go back to him. Bryce Eldridge, is he our starting day DH?
Yes. Yes, he is. And like, just yeah, I don't know why he's a man. What the hell is this? What? We brought him up for a few games in September? Just because, what? And then we're going to nah, he's not the guy.
Maybe he struggles in the spring, Ben. Maybe they decide he needs a little more seasoning. Maybe Randy's like, no, he needs a full year.
He needs a full year. Yeah. Don't let this Trey Savage guy make everybody think this is easy, because it's not. Oh, sure, he makes diving plays and throws guys out across the diamond at third base, just every first baseman does that. Nothing about what we saw from him indicates that he needs more seasoning at first base. Is he perfect? No, but he's not bad.
Well, he's also not going to be the everyday first baseman.
Exactly. What are we doing here?
So Bryce Eldridge, let's pencil him in, Ben. Let's pencil him in.
I'm writing him with pen. I use my most expensive calligraphy ink.
Okay. All right. You do that. So the rest of the bench thing, you got Drew Gilbert maybe as another outfielder.
Yeah. We got lots of options.
You got a not Wilmer Flores.
Yeah. I think the one name in here, somebody not. Yes. Let's pour one out for Wilmer.
That's right. I mean, it's going to be a sad spring because Wilmer's going to be somewhere else.
Yeah. No, I'm going to let you have this moment. It's really sad.
Wilmer, I love you.
I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. Let's have a moment of silence.
Let's. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
all right,
that was
thank
long
you.
enough.
Thank you for that.
I was like, wow, are we going to go for 30 seconds here? That's how long we do it at the... 30 seconds is a really long time. Okay,
Let's
one name that's penciled in here, I don't think should be penciled in. Christian Koss, I think he earned it.
You think so?
I think he's the backup. Yeah, done.
I just feel like if they had an opportunity to upgrade, they would.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If there's an opportunity to upgrade to somebody who's definitively better as your backup shortstop middle infielder, sure. Yes. Do it.
But he did have a good year, and I feel like he earned it. You're right.
Yeah.
But, I think anybody who's on the bench is one good player from being axed.
Right.
That's all.
But now,
pitching staff.
It's time to talk about our holes.
I don't really want to talk about my hole.
Well, some say we have a lot of little holes. Some say we have one large gaping hole. And some might say every person is different. But what I'm saying is we probably do have a couple of holes at starting pitching. And then we have one large gaping hole that is called our bullpen.
Right. And I have this in our show notes with relief pitcher, a slot for each player. And there are 8 relief pitcher slots.
Yeah.
And I have Ryan Walker.
Yes.
And 7 empty spots.
Yeah, and I was like, come on. Like we could put Spencer in the last spot, right?
Which you did.
Yeah, I put Spencer in the last spot. I think Spencer deserves the last spot, especially since there are 7 of them. He can't have one of them?
Him and Ryan Walker were the only ones that lasted the whole year in the bullpen, so there is that.
Yeah, well, and also I feel like Kai Wei Tang is going to take one of these spots. We just can't.
I think it's got to be a Carson.
There's got to be a Carson. Yeah, at least one Carson in there. No. The point is, we got work to do, dude. And by we, I mean Buster.
I just want him to go out and find 7 guys that throw 105.
Well, that's what every other team has 7 guys that throw 105. Why don't we? If the Guardians have, the Twins, there's a team in Milwaukee. What's their name?
The Brewers.
That's those guys. The National League team with the most wins this year. The ones who got speed bumped by the Dodgers. They got a bunch of guys who throw 105 miles an hour. I feel like there should be throwaway guys now who throw 105. We got Pagero that way. Let's just get a bunch of more Pageros. But
that's a guy that we could put in there, huh? He'll probably.
Yeah, I think that's a name who probably needs to be on this list is Pagero.
Oh, I'm putting him down in number 6.
Yeah. The point is, there's work to do on the starting pitcher and on the pitching front. Starting pitching, yes. We need a definitive 4 and 5 guy. And we need
there's some
1,000
internal
relievers.
options. Yes. And there are some internal options on both.
Yes.
Blade Tidwell, who we thought we were going to see last year, but got injured, and we never saw him after the Rogers trade.
Correct. We never saw him after he was. Blade was in the Rogers trade. Yes.
Yes. And was he also a Tennessee guy?
I have no idea.
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure. Also,
Yes. I still believe.
I have this vision that that Birdsong went to one of those like pitching guru people.
He's at the Spencer
off-season.
Bivens / Kaiway Tang place.
Yes,
yeah.
and that they've taught him how to like throw strikes.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
my
It's
vision.
it's Bivens, Tang and Associates.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so he could be an option, right? Trevor McDonald, who every time they bring him up and give him a couple starts, he does really well.
E-I-E-I-O.
E-I-E-I-O. That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
I agree. Like, this is the guy that he's always the last thought. He's not even on the list. He's not on the list, but they're like, oh, fine, let's bring up Old Man. And so they bring up Old Man, and he's amazing. Like, Old Man is only amazing when he's in the major leagues, apparently. Maybe that should tell us something. Maybe Old Man needs to be at the major league level.
Exactly. So the other one was that you mentioned it earlier, Max Scherzer. Could we?
It feels like a fait accompli, man. Like, he's in a I think there's a text group out there, Matthew, where there's 3 members of it, and one of them is Tony Vitello, and one of them is Max Scherzer, and the other one is irrelevant to this story.
But the fact that he's in a group chat with 2 other guys and one of them is Max Scherzer, you're thinking that's a good indication.
I think that's a good indicator that we are not going to see a Justin Verlander, because Justin still got it in the tank. I agree. Like, Ben, 2025 offseason Ben is more pro Verlander than any other previous version of Ben.
Okay. That's a big step.
But he's going to go somewhere else. And he should go somewhere else where they can just throw games away to trying to get a guy to 300 wins. That's not in San Francisco. My only concern about Max Scherzer is he such good close acquaintances with Vitello that Vitello could not tell him he's going to the bullpen. Because I don't know if you know this, man, but this is not a guy who takes rejection well. Mr. Scherzer.
The first time that Vitello goes out to the mound to take him out.
Yeah. After he's getting shelled, and he's like, "Dude, you're going to the bullpen." He's gonna have a meltdown. I'm just saying. Like, I'm pro. Like, let's try with Scherzer, but I'm not. I cannot stand another guy who they just keep running out there because he's old or he's buddies or something. Just can't do it.
Honestly, I'd like to stay away from the people that are close to 40 years old. That's just me.
It's also that. Yeah, we are ageists. That is for sure. Okay, Matthew.
All right. Well, I just wanted to lay the groundwork
Sure.
for this. We have a lot of work to do.
Okay.
And we will talk about it, I think, in the coming weeks and months.
2 weeks, apparently.
As those 2 weeks. Yes, we'll talk
That means
more
we have
about
2 weeks, Matthew, to research all of the available relief pitchers.
And I will do that on the Sunday right before we start.
I won't do it at all. I'll just cheat off your work.
That's right. What else is new?
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Yes, Bob. It is time for, well, in my case, no. But yes,
Oh.
it's time for the booze.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm drinking something called the Orchard Spritz because I was too hungover today to really think about drinking again. What's in an Orchard Spritz? Well, it has 2 ounces of pear juice, 2 ounces of apple cider, non-sparkling, and it could be unfiltered too. You want some funk in there. You want some that kind of nice cider
Get that super
feel.
strong, funky apple cider. Yeah.
That's right. And then a ½ ounce of lemon juice, a ½ ounce of spiced simple syrup, which is basically simple syrup with some like cinnamon sticks and cloves in it and stuff. And then you're going to shake all that in a cocktail shaker with ice, strain it into a rocks glass with fresh ice, and you're going to top it off with 2 to 3 ounces of sparkling apple cider. And it's a pretty lovely mocktail, if I do say so myself. It's very fall forward, so you can serve it at parties. It could be a Thanksgiving punch. You can scale this up, and it will be a wonderful addition to for non-alcoholic stuff. So that's what I'm drinking, Bob. The Orchard Spritz.
That's a tasty cocktail.
Mocktail. Yes, it is.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, Bob, thank you for asking. That's very kind of you. Bob, I'm drinking a cocktail that I called a flying baby, accidentally. But it's actually called a flying blueberry. Why is it called a flying blueberry? Because I wanted an aviation. But I don't have any of the ingredients to make it an aviation. Well, I don't have 2 of the important ingredients. Anyway, what's in a flying blueberry? Well, it's got 1.5 ounces of gin, just like an aviation. It also has 1/2 ounce of maraschino liqueur, just like an aviation. I didn't have maraschino liqueur. I had cherry hearing liqueur, and that made a completely different cocktail. Okay, but that's not the cocktail I wanted. So that's what we're going with, the one I wanted, not the one that I had to make. Because if you don't have maraschino and you only have cherry hearing, you're going to make something that's a little more sickly sweet. It's not going to be as light as the other one. So you want the maraschino, just like an aviation. Then you're going to take 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, not lemon juice, lime juice, because you like limes. And then you're going to take 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Because it's already kind of sweet. Oh, and I forgot an ingredient. 1/4 ounce of blueberry liqueur. You're going to put all of those together into a shaker with ice. You're going to shake them until well chilled, and then you are going to strain them into a cocktail glass. And that is how you make a flying blueberry. The blueberry liqueur replaces the creme de violette. Again, if you have creme de violette, use that. And use lemon juice, and then you have an aviation. Which is a better cocktail than what I had, but what I had was still pretty good. Except I had the cherry hearing, so it wasn't...
That's a tasty cocktail.
Yeah, it's debatable, Bob, but yeah, like the way I said it should be, yes. But the way I had it, no. It's so complicated. This is why we need 2 weeks between episodes, folks. To sober up. And that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks, apparently. I'm sorry, Jenna. We can only do so much. We don't you don't want to hear us just go off for an hour about nothing. Well, I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe somebody would find that amusing. But it makes us, we're not doing it. That's the point. Anyway, you can't wait that long to get your fix. Feel free to reach out to us on social medias. You can find us everywhere by the username Giant Cocktails. You can also find us on YouTube, where you can like, subscribe, and comment. You can also comment on Spotify, which I used to check every 2 weeks, but I haven't checked it in like a month. Or I did, and nobody commented. Might be that latter one. Anyway, most importantly, you can leave us a positive review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And by positive, we mean 5 stars. It really helps the show grow, which makes our egos feel good, but otherwise, really isn't that important. We love all the listeners that we already have. You guys are the GOATs, especially Scott, who pointed out the brutal editing error that I had made in our last episode. So Scott, like, folks, back in the day, we used to encourage you all to take photographs of your cocktails that you made. You never did it. The only one who ever did was Scott. And so we just ended up naming the word photograph after Scott. And then we would put his name. We said, just take a Scott of it in every ending of the episode. Scott, we don't love you any less, man, that we don't talk about you anymore. We still love you, dude. And here you are. You're showing that you love us right back by letting us know when we screw up. And by the way, it was Bob's fault. Had Bob messed that one up. Yeah. Anyway, Matthew, it was great talking San Francisco Giants with you. Top of the morning, laddie. Cheers.
Cheers, Ben. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. This season was kind of rough, dude.
Thank you for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. Until next time, bottoms up.
And it ended with the fucking Dodgers winning the World Series.
It started with my cat dying, and it ended with the Dodgers winning the World Series. It was like bookended by awfulness. And which was worse? I love that cat. She was amazing. Her dying was worse, but not by much. That's how much I hate the Dodgers.
Oh, so bad.
But, I don't blame the Dodgers, Matthew.
Oh, no. You should blame the Blue Jays.
Well, I do. Because if a team is going to give it to you, if a team is going to grab their ankles and then just expose themselves, you do what you have to do to win the World Series. Like, it's going to be rude. Nobody's going to enjoy it. But when a team does that to themselves, you have to take advantage of it. So I don't blame the Dodgers. But I never felt like, even after they went 9-1 against the National League, in this series, I never felt like the Dodgers were the better team. I felt like the better team gave it away. Thanks, Canada. I'm drinking a Bob that I called cocktail. I'm drinking a cock Bob that I called tail.